Welcome back to our first home buyer session. So last week we talked about how you can get a full approval from the bank and you sign those loan documents and you get ready for settlement. So what happens then? So there's quite a few things that sort of need to happen before you actually settle. So one of the things is you'll definitely need to speak to the agent, talking about how you're going to get the keys after settlement. But in the lead up to settlement, you're going to be contacted by your solicitor or your mortgage broker, or both ideally, to look at how much money you need to put in for the remainder of the deposit. Now this generally with the solicitors, because of when they do their searches and so forth, and adjust for things like rates and perhaps body corporate, so there's going to be an adjustment factor there depending on who's paid, whether the seller's paid some of the bill for those things for the period you're going to own it. So the solicitor needs to work all those things out. They'll look at how much the property is, how much of deposit you paid, how much the loan is, and then often they'll factor in their fees, perhaps stamp duty as well, and then they're going to work out, okay, you need to put in this amount to be the remainder of the money required at settlement. So normally all those things can be bundled in together to be an amount you need to pay, which will cover the rest of the deposit and the purchase costs as well. So now the key thing here is that money you're transferring, and the solicitor will tell you where that needs to go, or your mortgage broker will say where it needs to go. Typically it's either the solicitor's trust account or it's a nominated account with the new bank you're getting the loan with. So they're going to tell you, okay, you need this amount in this account by this date. Now the key thing there is it needs to be cleared funds, so that money needs to be able to be drawn down on the day of settlement. So typically with most banks they need a couple of days to clear, unless you do cash or bank checks and things like that to get the money cleared straight away. So you're going to need a little bit of time to move the money. A lot of people like to just do transfers, but obviously you're not going to necessarily have the transfer limit to be able to do that in one go. So you might have to plan for some transfers over a period of time. So that's something that you should be sort of asking your mortgage broker or solicitor a week out, so you've got time to transfer the money for settlement. You need to make sure, if you haven't already, that you've got insurance on the property. Certainly if it's a property that's already built, you should look at taking out insurance as soon as you sign the contract, in fact, because technically you could be liable for anything that happens to that property after that date. So you want to make sure your insurance is up to date, it's covered for the property, it's got adequate insurance. With building and costs going up the way they are, it'd cost a lot to replace a building if it had to be rebuilt. So make sure that you're definitely covering the rebuild costs there. And then you can start planning on moving in, and obviously with all the services that come with that. So hopefully that's helped you get ready for settlement, and next time we'll talk about settlement itself. Okay, take care.